Hello, 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 and welcome. This is the complimentary training and the accompaniment for your 21-page clarity journal exercise. Getting clear on why you're here, what you want to do, how you desire to earn, and who you want to serve. My name is Sarah Michaels. I am a next level lifestyle, business, money, and mindset coach. I currently am course creating and leading the VIP Co-Creating Queens community, which is a membership-based community here. And we meet in a private support group on Facebook. So if you're watching this as part of the bonus content for the CCQ community, congratulations. If you're just watching this and you've downloaded this clarity worksheet and journal and you're looking for kind of like more of a place to connect, that might be a good option for you. We have weekly live trainings as well as a 1-hour Q&A session, and it just allows us to go a little bit more deeper into the topics, and it's just such a great community to connect, collab, and co-create with other queens from all over. So that just launched, and we are so excited about the direction and all of the new queens who will be coming into it. So welcome. Okay, and yes, I am sporting this really awesome hoodie look. I snagged this from my hubby before I left because I was so cold and it's laundry day, and I'm like, okay, babe, I have nothing to wear, but so that's why I am wearing this really jazzed up, really jazzed up hoodie because it is, oh my gosh, ladies. Where are you from, by the way? I would love to know. So if you want to pop over to my Instagram and just let me know you watch this, let me know where you're from. My Instagram is at @XOSarahMichaels, but here in Wisconsin, it's supposed to be decent. It was like 70 degrees a couple days ago, and now it is going to snow. So this hoodie was necessary. So, okay, without further ado, let's hop in. I have printed, this is my binder, by the way. I have a lifestyle lookbook. I also have a vision board, but this is just kind of where I keep things. So prior to this and these questions getting put into this lovely little journal and workbook, these questions lived on a Google Drive document, and I've been adapting them over the past 7 years. And using them on my own journey as well as with my private high-level clients in our one-on-one sessions, which I do offer, by the way. So if you are looking for that or you need a little bit extra beyond just the co-creating queens, that's an option. So this is the Clarity Journal. Now, there are different ways that you can go about doing this clarity session. Feel free to pause, play, hit stop, and come back to. I'm going to walk you through like a guided session. We're going to go over each page. Something you may find helpful to do as well is to just read through the questions and to come back to them. Maybe go for a walk, go grab a Starbucks and go, shopping, whatever it is that like raises your vibration and just allows you to have fun and be creative and inspired. Those are usually some really good exercises to do alongside of this. Very often we are go, 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 go in our culture and our society. We're constantly going from the time that we wake up. By the time, our alarm goes off and we hit the gym or whatever it is that we're doing, we constantly have demands on us all the time. And all of our energy is focused outwards. We're always focused on our to-do list, what we're doing, all of this other stuff. And then finally, at the end of the day, maybe after we've passed out watching Netflix, we fall asleep and then we wake up the next day and do it all over again. So we're constantly in this state of like external energy, right? And it's so important when we are on the spiritual journey as entrepreneurs, because it is so spiritual. Being an entrepreneur is like, it's just insanely spiritual, and most people miss out on that. They're too focused on how pretty their Instagram grids look or, their content schedules, and they're missing out on the internal evolution that's taking place on their entrepreneurial journey. And it is just so spiritual, which is why that's what we dive into. We talk about all those types of things and how, yes, there are strategies and systems, but there's also like spirituality and intuition that, creates this beautiful infusion in our business journey, which is really what this exercise is designed to help you do. It's to help you go internal, to be introspective and intuitive and listen to those voices, because you have to believe that you already know. You already know that inner self, that inner guidance in there that led you on this path. Everything is already inside of you. You already have what it takes. You already have those next steps. It's just about figuring out the key to unlock them, and and gaining the clarity to get there. Because sometimes it can feel a little bit foggy and we feel like we don't know. But when we trust that inner guidance and that intuition, and we get into a place of introspection and we just kind of allow it to come out and we trust the process, really, really awesome, magical things can happen. This exercise has been proven, like proven. When people come out of this exercise, clients have been able to know exactly what it is they were going to implement. And all of a sudden, 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks from now, you could be in a totally different place. And this clarity exercise has the ability to do that. It's not just a one-time thing either. You may need to come back to this as much as you want, or you need to. You can always reprint this off. You have lifetime access to the PDF as well as this exercise here. So feel free to listen to it more than once if you need to. So yeah, that's how this is going to go. Also, I heard this quote once and it was just so profound and it was very poignant and it stuck out in my head. And I feel like it really speaks to those of us who feel like we have to have everything together and be like so perfect in order to get started. We need the webcams and the ring lights and like all this stuff. And we need, we have to have. And when we clear all that aside and we realize it's okay to show up now, where we're at now, we get rid of that perfection procrastination that's actually holding us back from reaching that next level that we were designed to hit. Yeah. It was just such a profound quote. So the quote is, if you're not embarrassed by the earliest versions, you started too late. I'll say it again. If you're not embarrassed by the earliest versions, it could be of your work, your videos, your logo, whatever it is, your course, your posts, then you started too late. You don't have to be perfect to start. This is an evolution process. You can give yourself permission to start and be clunky and be like awkward, be kind of like that weird stage where you haven't quite yet stepped into yourself. And that's totally fine. And just understand that as you evolve, you're going to grow and get better. But in order for you to get there, like for me personally, it's always about, I always picture, well, I want thousands and thousands of clients all over the world. And I see these VIP retreat days and, all these people in the courses. But it's like, if I don't start the course, I'm never going to have that. You don't just go from like 0 to 100 miles an hour. But this particular exercise helps your brain figure out the steps and like reverse engineers these steps so that you know how to go from A to B to C. You don't just go from like A to C. There's the process in between, and it's okay to start and not be perfect and be messy. So there's that. So just give yourself permission to start. When you're doing the exercise, you may also want to find some really good, like a playlist, an inspirational instrumental playlist that always helps me. Sometimes I will read through the questions and go for a walk or take a bath, maybe a nice Epsom salt rose petal bath, whatever works for you. Getting inspired, allowing yourself the time to be intuitive and introspective and honor the work that's coming. You may also want to know that in the clarity journaling, we're not just going to do a clarity exercise. This is a clarity exercise, but we also walk through releasing fears and doubts, which is so powerful. So powerful. So we also go through that. Now, you may notice when doing this exercise, number one, you don't have any fears or doubts, and that's fine, and that's totally normal. I don't want you to feel like, am I abnormal because I don't have any fears or doubts? No, absolutely not. But if you do have fears or doubts, that is normal too. And I'm going to teach you not to push those down, because pushing your emotions down does nothing except for create like tension and repression, and then it causes an explosion later. We don't want a repressive explosion. We want to process the emotions so that you can get to the root of where those are coming from, so you can replace those roots with new truths. And we'll go through that at the end. And again, you may need to come back to this exercise as you evolve through your business. You may notice that it'll be a time to redo it or renew yourself. So yeah, so let's hop into it. Okay, so make the most of this time, set the mood for the exercise, take some time to just be with yourself. Maybe you'll find your best thoughts come when you're outside, unplugged and connected to nature, or perhaps with a glass of bubbly and unwinding in a rose petal bath. I will include the clarity meditations. There are some good ones that I recommend. Exciting news. So and this is on the meditation front. So the guy that I have been following for years, like 5 years ago, and he actually offered a deal to us and our students where you can get access to his site for $1, which is just phenomenal. He is like a oh my gosh, he does like neuro programming. Let me see if I can find it. David McGraw is his name. I've been a member here for 5 years, which is why we were able to get the offer. Don't go to this site, by the way. You have to click the link in order to get it, but you get a $1 trial. Otherwise, I think it's like, $497. Yeah, so you guys get access to a very special deal. It is so amazing. He has meditations in there where you're able to get clarity, connect with your highest self. Let me see if I can log in here. Members area. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. These are all of the meditations that you have. He is a certified like neural reprogramming coach, and the meditations in here are phenomenal. So that is one person that I do recommend doing meditations for. He has just so many good ones. I just love them. True Life Purpose. That's one of the ones that you can do. Inner Power, Unlock Your Intuition, Self-Discovery. So this is just an example of some of the meditations that come with. And if you want the link to that, I will put that as included as a bonus. So you can get access to all of this for, I think, 30 days for like $1, which is amazing. So I highly recommend these meditations. Okay. So, and here's the biggest thing. A lot of the time we don't take action because we feel like we're not worthy right now. Like we have to look a certain way. We have to have all the things in order to start. And it's like, you don't. We compare ourselves to other people, and comparison is like the thief of joy, and it robs us of our own power. So knowing that you are worthy right now, where you're at, to take the next step, it honors the process of your journey. So that's really what we're going to get clear on as we go through here. So what would you do right now if it were impossible to fail? One of the things I recommend doing is journaling without judgment, meaning don't put any of the shoulds, coulds. Oftentimes you're going to hear maybe your parents' voice, your mom's voice, old teacher's voice, your spouse's voice, telling you exactly what you should do. Maybe it's a church leader voice or like a friend who's very opinionated on what you should or should not do with your life. This is your time. This exercise is not about what does Sally and Susie Q think that you should do. Take their judgments and just push them aside. This is all about you. What do you want to do? And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, or it doesn't matter if you think, well, this isn't realistic because I can't do this. Like, for example, for me, when I first started doing these exercises, I put limitations on myself and said, oh, I could never do this because my husband, doesn't want me to do this, he's now my ex-husband. But that's neither here nor there. But I'm just saying, you are the only one who can unlock this process. And it's not about what anybody else thinks. It's just about what you think. So no judgment journaling. The second thing, what are your top 10 favorite things to do? So, this is like your absolute favorite things to do in life. Do you enjoy baking cookies or making cocktails? Or maybe you enjoy eating out at restaurants and that just like lights you up? Like, what is something that when you do it, you feel and people are like, well, I don't know what my favorite things to do are. The activities and the qualifications for these types of activities is something that makes you feel more energized after you do it. Something that you do that you're just like, yes, and you get really excited and you love it. So for me, one of those activities is I love to make YouTube videos. um, yeah, so one of my goals in the future is to be able to get to a place where I can vlog for just a year, like a year straight, and just focus on doing like one video, maybe a day. Yeah. So I love my YouTube channel. I love vlogging. I love filming. I love doing stories. And it doesn't have to, we oftentimes think we can only write things down that are going to be money making activities. And that's not the case. If you love walking dogs or playing with dogs, write it down. And you can feel free to just do a brain dump too and just write anything that comes to mind and then like circle your top 10. Okay. And then within these 10 items that you circle, chances are you're probably going to start to see a theme. For example, maybe you love teaching, you love helping people, you love baking, and you enjoy like going to the beach or you enjoy traveling. So maybe you would want to bake treats for people, teach some people so you could create an online course and then spend your free time going to the beach and like doing activities that fill you up. So you're kind of going to see a theme when you're journaling. These are your top 10 favorite things to do. What activities bring you joy? Now, these can be some of the same things you wrote above, and this is just a different way to word this. But like, what lights you up? Like, is it playing with your kids? Being outside, connecting with people? Some people, they are truly, truly lit up by, meeting other people, and they really love that. That brings them just an immense amount of joy. On the flip side of things, what activities drain you? What are some things? So when we're going through this process of clarifying what it is we want to do, if this is the first time that you've done this, or it's the first time that you've really truly asked yourself, what do I want to do? A lot of the times we will have this barrier that's kind of like, I don't know what I want to do. You've never been asked this question and you've never asked yourself that question. So you're literally like, is it even safe to like pick? Can we do this? Is it okay? Because we're so programmed that we have to be tired. We have to be working 9 to 5 all the time. Work has to be hard. We have this programming since we're little. Money doesn't grow on trees. Work hard, there's never enough. So it's kind of undoing that programming. And especially if you have never asked yourself these questions, it's really important and maybe very helpful in figuring out what you do want to do to figure out what you don't want to do. Because oftentimes that'll give you some clarity on what you want to do. So for example, I knew that I did not want to be stuck in an office, like wasting my time driving to an office, sitting in a desk, being told what I had to do, and having zero creative outlet. So therefore, if I'm able to figure out what I don't want to do, you're able to take the flip side and feel like, okay, I want to work from home. I don't want to have to drive. I want to have freedom, and I want to have like creative expression in my work. And I was able to figure that out by determining what activities drain me. So maybe you're drained by spreadsheets and number crunching, or maybe you're drained by dealing with other people and you're like, I don't want to have a business where I have to talk or interact with people because blah. So just write all of that. Whatever activities drain you, write it down. What are your unique talents or strengths? So You may, if you've never looked at this yourself, or if this is a more difficult thing for you to do, it might be something that maybe is a recurring theme that you receive compliments on. Maybe somebody, you are frequently complimented on your gift of encouragement, or I don't know, your social ability, or, oh, you were really great with your makeup. Maybe you could do makeup tutorials. Just be creative, whatever comes to mind. Write down your own unique talents or strengths. What are some of your unique life experiences? These are so important because it's so helpful to realize there's a lot of the times we think, I don't have any, who am I to talk? Who am I to do this? Who am I to, tell other people? When we're looking at what our own unique strengths are and what our own unique life experiences are, we're able to see that we have something that nobody else has, and we are quite different from anybody else. So even if there's somebody out there doing life coaching or business coaching, or they have a VIP community, you're always going to do it just a little bit different because you are not created the same as anyone else. You are uniquely you, with your own unique gifts and talents and abilities and your own unique life experiences that set you apart from everyone else. So write it down. So for example, for me, some of my unique life experiences would be that I was pregnant at 19. I went through a challenging marriage. I've been a military spouse. I dropped out of college and started my own business. So as you can see, you don't have to say that they're positive or negative. They're just life experiences, things that you've gone through in your life that you've gained wisdom from and that you could potentially talk to others about. So maybe, you've had some health challenges, and that's something that you could share or that you could talk to them about, a person about. You don't have to be an expert. That's not what this is saying. It's not like, oh, I had to go out and, get certified in this, or I'm a certified personal trainer. I went through that season of my life where I thought that in order to help people, I needed certification. So I got certified as a personal trainer. I had just lost 72 pounds, by the way. This is where this came from. So I had lost 72 pounds. I got healthy. I got on the track of like living holistically and all this other stuff, and turned my health around and my life around. But then I thought that in order to help people, that meant I had to go get certified as a personal trainer, which I did. I got certified also in like sports nutrition. I then got certified in juice therapy, and I was working on my certification for holistic and integrative nutrition when, my divorce happened and I didn't end up finishing. But no, experiences do not have to come from certifications. You don't need some certification or some like qualification hanging on your wall. Your unique life experiences are simply what you've been through, what you've gained experience from, and you don't need to be qualified. You don't need to be qualified. And I love this quote that says, "He doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called." So I know for me personally, like God has put it on my heart, this is what I'm supposed to do. Or if if you're offended by God, fine. The universe, this is what the universe has called you to do. The creator, the universe, whatever you want to call it. You are qualified because you've been called, and you know that you've been called because there's that persistent, consistent tugging in your heart in one direction. Those dreams and desires were not put there by accident. Those are your destiny. Okay, so this kind of goes hand in hand with the last one. And again, these are just meant to jog your brain and to really get you thinking. So what do you know already right now? Not when you have XYZ, or you're driving this car, or you're in this house, or you are at this weight. What do you know right now, today, that could help someone? And you can get ideas so you may find that as you're going through this experience, what it's actually doing is it's actually pulling. So all of the ideas are here at the top. And as you go further down this exercise, it's pointing you towards something. So you're kind of whittling it down as you go. So you're like, well, it's kind of the same as the top, but what you're putting it in terms of what would somebody else want to know from the life experiences that you just talked about and your unique strengths and talents. You can kind of combine all those together. Okay. What areas of expertise? Okay, so again, you just looked at above, what do you know already that could help someone? From that question, you can kind of gain like, so what are your areas of expertise that someone would pay you for? Maybe, maybe you, I'm trying to adjust my hair. It's a crazy workout here. Um, I don't know, maybe you're really good at like laws. I don't know. Maybe you're good at helping people with taxes, or you're really good at finding discounts. That's an area of expertise. People absolutely have coupon sites. People pay other people to help them with their taxes. People pay other people to walk their dogs or watch their kids. Those are all areas of expertise. It doesn't, and your expertise does not mean that it could be that you do have expertise. Now, I'm not saying that if you've gone to school and, you've been certified as, and you've invested in your skills and talents and knowledge and abilities, that's not a bad thing. That's amazing. That means that you can even charge a little bit more because you've put in the investment. Therefore, you have the authority to ask for more back because you have the potential to provide more value because you offer more talent, skills, or abilities. So understand that. So the marketplace pays for value. Value is given when you have these higher level of skills, and you get better or more valuable skills when you invest into your talents and abilities. So when you're willing to invest in your skills, you're willing to pay for courses, you're willing to learn more so you can provide more value, you're increasing your area of expertise or your value. So I didn't mean to devalue if you have gone to school. That's amazing. That is definitely an area of expertise. But I just wanted to give an across the board statement saying you don't need to go to school to help people. You don't need a certification to help people. But if you do, that's okay too. Okay, so this is another question. So when we go down, so what areas of expertise could people pay me for? Now, just because somebody could pay you for those certain areas doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you're willing to receive money for. And when I say that, I mean, what areas would you enjoy receiving money from? And I don't want you, I also want to let you know that like selling, so many people have this fear of selling, and selling is such a beautiful exchange. You have something that people need. Your unique experience, your unique talents, your unique way to help people, unlike what anyone else can provide. The world needs that. The world absolutely needs that. But it should be an enjoyable exchange, right? It should be like fun. So when people pay you, they're getting something from you. And it's like an exciting, just energetic exchange. It's not like ooh, I'm taking their money, I feel bad. No, you're providing them with value. You're giving them, you're opening the gates to something that they want. And they're willing to pay you for. So think of the areas that you would actually enjoy doing, like enjoy receiving money for. So maybe you would enjoy coaching people. Maybe that's an area you'd be willing to receive money for. Because just because, you have an area of expertise doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you want to do. So as you go through these, really think, where do I want to get my money from? Like, what would make me happy to get paid to do? For me, something I love doing for fun, I love designing websites for fun. And I'm good at it, like really good, and I love it. Website design lights me up, whether it's in the form of, teaching people, because to me, a website is like, my client's own creative expression of who they are when it's done right. Bad websites are like my pet peeve, like, ooh, I can't stand them. It's like, oh my gosh, I go to websites and I'm just like, no, 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 no. So for me, I love making websites. So I make sure every year that I have a room in my calendar for probably about 3 high-level websites. And I'm talking like a client that wants an entire rebranding. I get to do everything from start to finish. like logo design, graphics, website. I love doing that. I love doing that. So I leave room in my calendar to do like 3 of those high-level ones a year because that's what I like doing for fun. And it provides someone with a valuable service. So that's one of the ways I've chosen to have fun and earn an income. This is also a really good memory jogger. Is there anyone else getting paid to do similar work? Now, so many people, when they see other people doing that thing, they're like, oh, I can't do it because they're already doing it. Again, we are all connected. The fact that somebody else is getting paid to do what you want to do means that there's more than enough room for you. There is no lack in the universe. There is no lack. There is an abundance of clients. So if you see somebody else that you're slightly intimidated by, so for example, if they've made $2 million in 1 year by selling like a $4,000 course, that should be such inspiration and encouragement for you. Like, oh my gosh, they could do it in their unique talents and calling, which means that you can do it in your unique talents and calling. They have different clients and different people. You have different clients and different people that only you can serve in the way that you can serve them. So a lot of people all the time are like, well, I can't do it. It's like, no. If you already know somebody else has done what you want to do, that's amazing because that means that there's room for you to do it as well. And they've paved the way and they're showing you what's possible. So oftentimes those people that we are the most intimidated by or we feel kind of threatened by, oftentimes that's because that's the level that we've been called to go to and to do. So just take a look around. Maybe you know somebody, or maybe you're like, you know what? I wanna be a coach I wanna do this, or I wanna create a course for baking, I don't know, or something. And you don't know if anyone else has done it yet. And you're like, well, geez, I don't even know if this is a thing. Go do your homework, go do some research. Has anyone else done it? And if they have, that's awesome. And if they haven't, well then girlfriend, you are in a very, very unique position to like capitalize on that. That's amazing. What specific services could I offer? So now this is where we're really getting down to it. So when you're looking at this, what are people willing to pay you for? What are your areas of expertise? What are your own unique talents and abilities? What specific services could you offer? Now, when you're doing this, you could write down like, what would people, let's see, where am I going? Okay, yes. So this is like the big picture. I just wanted to make sure that I had added that other question in there. This is like the big picture. So I want you to brain dump all of the different types of services that people could potentially pay you for. So for me, it's like creating courses, logo design, branding, having a team that does that. So training my team members so that when somebody comes in, I'm delegating. So I'm not necessarily doing all of the logo design, but overseeing it so that my team members are doing it. And by the way, if you are taking my courses and you're learning like minimal logo design and graphics and stuff through me, I will be having more openings on my team because I do plan on expanding. And I'm absolutely only going to be hiring from people and graduates from my courses. So there is just a little tidbit for you. Team Sarah Michaels, next level business branding and website design. That's what I'm going to be doing. So what specific services could you offer? So for me and my team members, we offer minimal logo design. I also, for my clients, I contract out next level graphic design. Like I'm talking like just crazy to a third party, like a consultant that I have, on hand that I personally know who's a fabulous designer. So I'm able to help my clients in that way. I offer coaching, one-on-one. I offer courses, blogs. That's something else. That's a service. I want you to really, really think outside the box here. Like you could offer maybe inside of your blog posts where you're talking about some of these different things that you use, you could get paid for recommending these products or services. It doesn't even necessarily need to be something that you personally own either. So maybe you know somebody, who offers this course or whatever, and maybe they would pay you to be a connector or an ambassador for their brand, product, service, whatever it is they have. That's called affiliate marketing or a brand partner. Those are some other ideas that you could have. If you want to start a blog, maybe you want to blog in like a certain niche or niche. um, you know, it's really, the possibilities are endless. So I want you to have fun with this. Okay. This is important because this takes the ego out of your product, service, offer, or idea. It makes it not about you and your talents and what you're going to do or your fears. And it puts it into the mindset of, in what ways is this going to positively impact my potential clients? Those people that you want to serve. Those people. And when you're coming up with this list of services based off of your unique talents and some of these experiences, you're able to help the people who are in that same genre of experience that you came from. So maybe if you had a bad relationship and you got out of it and now you're happy, that's an experience. You can share that with others. Maybe you want to write a book about it. Maybe you want to start like a private online support community for it. And so when you think about, because as an entrepreneur, there are days when you're just not going to want to show up. You're not going to want to do it. Your fire is going to go. It's a roller coaster. The entrepreneurial journey is such a roller coaster. There's days when it's hard and it sucks. And you're just like, why am I doing this again? When you're able to think of who, this is helping you figure out who you want to serve. Really being particular about like, how can this positively impact potential clients? In what ways would their life change if you were offering this service? If you were offering this VIP community for support for women, like what would that mean in their life? Would that mean that they could connect, that they could come out of a bad situation? If you were to share your journey on YouTube through inspirational videos, which is totally a thing. Yeah, YouTube pays you money. YouTube pays me money. That's another service, like sharing your journey is a service that you could offer. So how would people be positively impacted if they heard your story? Maybe they would feel hope and encouragement. Maybe they wouldn't feel like they were alone. Maybe you would be providing them the ability to earn an income, which would mean that they would have more money, which would mean, oh man, when you help people earn an income and get financial freedom, it is so much bigger than you. It's so much bigger than you and what you want to do and all of your desires. When we look at it through the lens of me, I, how can I get to the next level? Me. When you really start to look at who am I serving and how is this going to impact them? It just connects you in such a deeper way to like the heart and soul of your mission. And that is really what's so powerful about this exercise. You're going deep into who you are, what you were created to do, and who you were designed to serve. Oh, it's so powerful. Those people need you. Those people need your unique gifts that nobody else in the world is qualified, because you're unique. You've been created differently. So even if somebody, came from the same school, the same background, you had different experiences. And only you are qualified to reach these people who, if you don't show up, you might never, sorry, my husband's calling. So if you don't show up and if you're not showing up daily and, sharing your gift with the world, they might never be impacted. So on the flip side, how would people be negatively impacted if I didn't use my talents or abilities? What would happen if you didn't show up? If you didn't write the blog, do the video, create the course, open the community? What would happen to those people? Would they stay stuck? What would happen to their kids, their families? And again, what will people pay me for right now? I am so sorry. That's the pun of recording live. Hold on a second. Hello, babe. What's up? I did not, but I will in a bit. I'm recording live video right now. Okay. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, thank you for being patient with me. When the hubby calls and he calls 3 times in a row, that's usually like, what? He never usually does that. So, all right, let's hop back into it. Okay, so yeah, it's just really powerful. Like looking at how would people be negatively impacted if you don't show up? Like it's bigger than you. What's going to happen to those people if you were created for a specific time and purpose and place, you know? So you not rising up into who you were created to be is bigger than just you missing out on, $10,000 a month or whatever it is that your goals are. Your goals are bigger than you. So what will people pay me for right now? Not when you're driving the fancy car, when you've got the ring light, the awesome office, which by the way, I'm recording this video for you in my childhood bedroom with no ring light. I'm sitting in front of the window here and just my laptop webcam. So I hope that this goes to show you that you don't need to be perfect. You just have to show up. I had this desire and this call, and it was like, you know what? I got to do this. I got to do it. And it's got to be now. So and oftentimes we have this big sense, like this big picture idea of where we want to go and how our life is going to look. And yes, having that lifestyle lookbook, this is my lifestyle lookbook, by the way. This is great. Here's all of my goals, which I am crossing off this year like a boss, writing my book, launched my course, launched the community, right? This and you saying, well, I'm not here yet. I don't have this yet. Life doesn't look like this yet. I'm not this yet. So then I can't do this yet. We can't be paralyzed by the comparison of the gap between where we are and where we want to be. So figuring out the services, figuring out what people could pay you for right now honors where you're at already. This is the same concept and process that I go through, when I'm coaching inside, with my health clients, because that's another aspect of what I do. I love websites, I love business, but I am passionate about using holistic nutrition to heal. And one day I want to open up. I will open up my wellness center and retreat. But right now I just have my virtual wellness studio. And when I'm walking through those clients, I say, you know what? Don't wear the sloppy fat clothes now because they make you feel worse. People are afraid to spend money on wardrobes that fit them now. It's like, no, go buy some clothes, go spend $50, go to like TJ Maxx or whatever, or like whatever, just go somewhere and buy clothes that fit you now so that you can love yourself right now. Not when you're at this weight, not when you're down the road. And the same concept applies to your business. So maybe someday you want to be a world-class graphic designer, but right now you can't do all of that stuff. You can only make a logo. Fine. Make a minimal logo. That's what people can pay you for right now. And as you step out and you start doing these things one after the other, slowly and surely through each one of these steps, and by focusing on not what can I do then, what can I do right now? That's going to connect you to the specific next steps you need to take in order to get to where you want to be. Because you're not going to get there in like one big, huge jump. It's going to happen in little steps, little increments. Okay. And you're going to adapt as you elevate. You're going to evolve as you elevate. So it's like climbing a mountain, right? With every new level and every new height that you hit, it requires a little bit of adaptation. You got to get used to the oxygen at that level, and then you go higher. I hope this is making sense. I hope this is good. If this is awesome, if you're loving this, if this is helpful, pop on over to my Instagram, either my personal one or the Co-Creating Queens, and just let me know. I love hearing feedback from you. And if you would be so willing, pop on over on Facebook and just leave me a review. Let me know if you're enjoying this exercise and this workbook. This is something that I've been doing with myself for years. And this specific question, This question is actually, I just included this recently within the past 6 months, and I was like, I need to stop figuring out what I want to do when I'm at this level. What can I do right now? What is going to pay you? What will people pay you for right now? Like next week, if you were to figure out how to open up the payments, which we talk about and I'm going to go into next, because that's the next step. So if you're watching this and you've gotten this far and you figured out what people will pay you for, the next step is actually getting paid, which is so much easier than you think. People overcomplicate the crap out of it. I wanted to say that out of it, but I didn't. People overcomplicate the crap out of it because they have all these fears that come up like, ooh, well, what about this? And it's like, no, it is so simple. It is so easy to earn. That was the theme of this year, is like, just earn with ease. Allow it to be easy, enjoyable, and fun. You can earn with ease, earn with enjoyment, like earn with like joy. It's fun. It's fun to earn. So, what are my next steps to receiving this payment? Now, the reason that I ask these questions is because your brain is a goal-seeking organism. It wants to connect the dots. And when you start making these conscious, conscious questions, you raise your awareness so that your brain is looking for that next step. When you are aware of it, you're able to ask the questions and you open up the gates to be able to receive the answers. When the student is ready, the teacher arrives. So this is a really simple process. It's simple. I want you to keep it simple. I don't want you to overcomplicate it and be like, well, I think I have to do like this, and then maybe this. This does not need to look like what anyone else is doing, especially if they've been in business for 2+ years and they've got all of their cards in a row. Okay? Keep it simple. Keep it super simple. KISS. Keep it super simple. You'll probably hear that acronym from other places by other people. That I did not coin that term. But I don't say keep it simple, stupid. I don't like that. So I'm going to say keep it super simple. KISS, okay? So maybe it's as simple as going to your Facebook. I'll show you. You can figure out ways to get paid. So maybe you just go to Facebook. So for example, this is what I did on one of my Facebook pages. And I do have multiple for a reason. Maybe even if you don't have a website, I don't want you to feel like you need a website. I talk about websites. Websites are amazing. You don't need one. If you have a services tab on Facebook, you can put your services on there and you can start getting paid for them. Oh my gosh, it's that easy. Or if you really have to, just accept money via PayPal. Don't overcomplicate it. Allow people to pay you. People can't pay you unless you open up the door. It's like people can't walk in. People don't know you have this if, number one, you don't start offering it. So oftentimes that's like one of the first things. If nobody knows what you're doing, make a video or a post and tell people what it is that you're doing. So that's obviously oftentimes one of the steps. Another step, open up the gateway to receive payment. That's it. It does not need to be complicated. Maybe this is going to require you to do a post. Maybe it's going to require you to create a PayPal. If you already have a website, maybe just putting the Pay Me Now button on there, for example. And if you're not already and you're interested in building a website, by the way, what you're looking at right now is the free vault of resources. If you haven't already, access the stinking vault. All of the things mentioned in here, either myself or my team reached out and we were able to contract like a deal for you. So if you're looking for any resources for your business, that's in here inside of the vault. And we go through everything. Anything that I've used or tested for business in my almost 10 years as an entrepreneur is inside of here. So this should help you. Okay, so if you're looking for how do I accept payments on my site, go to the website payments and podcast section and we'll get you figuring that out. Go to my YouTube. Go to my YouTube channel. I offer free trainings on that, like how to put a payment button on your website, PayPal, payments, whatever, use Facebook, it doesn't matter. Just figure out how to get paid. Okay, now here's the next section. Oftentimes when we get to this portion, there is a feeling. A lot of the times, and a lot of my clients, let me show you the fear, and it doesn't have to necessarily be like a specific emotion. Some people feel emotion or doubts in the form of like a voice in their head that's like, no, you can't do that, you can't do it yet, you're not ready, you have to have this. Whatever came up into your head, I want you to write that down here in this step, because that next step, when we're actually getting ready, picture this. It's like, here's what it's like. It's like when you're I've never skydived, by the way, but this is what I imagine it would be like. It's like when you're getting ready to jump out of the plane and your toes are at the edge and you're going to do something you've never done before. And it is crazy as frick. And your body and your mind is going, oh, you might start to sweat a little bit. Your palms might get a little shaky. That's what's happening, because right here, when you reach this step, when you are clear on what you want to do and you are like, this is what I need to do next, that is where you're standing at the edge. Your toes are on the edge of the plane. You're looking out at the sky and you're ready to freaking jump. That is when the fears, doubts, and stuff will arise. And oftentimes, I don't want you to feel like those are a bad thing. If you don't have any, that's fine. You're one of those crazy mofos that just jumps out the plane like, woo! That's amazing. You freaking go. Like, that's great. But if you do get your toes to the edge of the plane and you're feeling like, oh my God, what do I do? I'm not qualified to do this. That is totally normal too. So that's what we're going to work through and process here next. So I want you, if you had specific phrases come up, I want you to write those down. Like, I can't do this because I don't have this in place. And let me tell you, our brain likes to overcomplicate things. Like, I need a webinar first and a funnel and an email list before I can do this. No, you don't. No, you don't. You can serve people right now. It is so much easier than you think. You don't need all the fancy schmancy things no, it's so simple. That might want to be one of the new truths that you write down for yourself, by the way. I let it be easy. I allow it to be easy. I allow myself, it is safe to earn with ease. It is safe to keep it simple. That might be one of the new truths that you'll replace here in a second. So what fears and doubts arose? You might also feel, let me show you here, that you get a feeling right here in your gut. And that's kind of like the drop-off feeling, like that apprehension. When you're feeling it in there, that's like the scary, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm worthy. I don't know if I'm good enough. I am not as good as her. She's better than me. I can't do this. Oftentimes that's where that gut feeling's coming from. When you get the feeling in here, like it's like a little bit like you're going to choke or puke, that means oftentimes you haven't found your confidence, like your voice, like I don't know. And it's the same thing. This one, these two feelings, or these two areas, are a couple of the places you'll feel the most, possibly the most tension or emotion in. We're going to release these emotions, you guys. It's going to be so great. It's going to be really big. Okay, so like I said, it can come in the form of a gut reaction or feeling. I want you to understand that many of these fears, doubts, and emotions are coming from a place of protection. It's not bad. It's not like evil. They're not. And I don't also want you to feel like if you acknowledge these, that you're going to manifest them. That is not true. That's not true. Now, especially if you are following The Secret or Law of Attraction, there's so many people who are afraid to even honor and acknowledge their emotions anymore, because they feel like if they admit that it's going to make it worse, or they're going to like exacerbate this emotion. And that's not true. This is what I was talking about when I said, if you are repressing that emotion, it can cause an explosion and you're never processing it. So we want to process the emotion, understand the root of where it's coming from, so we can kind of pull that root out and replace it and plant a new seed, which are like the seeds of truth. This can come in the form of Bible verses, quotes, affirmations, whatever. So I want you to take some time and talk to me, share with yourself, what fears and doubts do you have? Oftentimes, very often, I'm not good enough, or I'm afraid, or what if I fail? This is so important to do. Do you remember the time when you first felt this way? So many of us carry these protection mechanisms that were in place from when we were a child. Was there a person, an incident that you ever felt this specific emotion? Maybe it's just an emotion. Maybe it's a feeling. Maybe a lot of these go all the way back to like kindergarten, first, second grade, where you dropped something on the ground and everybody laughed at you and you felt like you were silly. And it happened in second grade. So we conditioned ourselves with this protection mechanism to keep us from getting hurt. So again, when we acknowledge this emotion and where it's coming from, we can see now logically that it's okay to let it go. We're safe, we're an adult. And this is also very helpful to tell yourself, what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that'll happen? My aunt asked me this question and it changed my life. It's one of the top things in my life that has changed. What's the worst that'll happen? Failure is only failing if you don't learn from it and if you quit. So if you have the idea, and I want to just tell you right now, you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail. Things aren't gonna go right. You're gonna have a flop launch. It is okay. It's fun. Failure is fun. It's part of the process. Like, I want you to fail. I want you to try to fail. Because when you're failing, you're going in the right direction and you're learning. Every time I fail, I'm like, what didn't work? Put that down on the list. Failure doesn't have to be this big, scary thing. We're not perfect. We don't have to be perfect either. And it just feels so good and so freeing when we let that go and we understand that a lot of the times we're trying to keep ourselves safe from what other people thought. Maybe we were trying to please a parent, a teacher, somebody whose opinion we really shouldn't even care about. Maybe it was a toxic person and you have to let that go. This can get emotional too. If you're bringing up things that you've never dealt with from childhood, or you always doubted yourself, or you didn't feel worthy, whether it was from like an abusive relationship, I had a lot of trauma that I released from that. And yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so do you remember a time you first felt that way? And you might not, and that's okay too if you don't. Um, so then you go on to this next exercise where it's, what old beliefs do you need to release? Old beliefs could be, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I can't make money at this. Because especially if you did the exercise above and someone else is already making money in the way that you desire to, yeah, you can do it. So identify any of those old beliefs that you need to release, those roots that are in there. Okay, those roots that are in your spiritual, your conscience, that you're going to pull out and replant with new seeds so that you can focus on those as you go forward. Okay, so what are your new truths? Like I said, your new truths can come in the form of these affirmations. I love affirmations. Affirmations really helped me when I turned my life around. I had left my husband. I was, starting my new career and my new job. I was losing weight. Affirmations could be a quote that you read, something like that inspires you. And really just look around. Sorry, I'm bopping my hair around here. Okay. Just look around for what inspires you. These are your new truths. So for example, if one of the old beliefs is, and a truth is often the flip side of the root. So if your root was, I can't succeed at this, nobody will pay me for this, your truth could be, if she can do it, so can I. That's affirmation number one. If she can do it, so can I. So, and a lot of these times, your brain and your conscious emotions, it likes catchy rhymes. So, Gosh, I'm trying to think of some of the ones that I had. I'll have to look and I'll have to write them down. But you just come up with your own personal truths that you resonate. So maybe anywhere from like 1 to 5. You can circle the new affirmations if you want. These will be so important to cling to when you're feeling those old feelings of fear or doubt as you're launching your new Facebook page or you're accepting payments. You're going to have those moments where it's like, am I even qualified to do this? Like, who am I? I want you to pull out your truth. So your affirmation, write it somewhere visible, write it in your lookbook, keep it written down in your journal. If you don't have a journal, I strongly recommend the practice. Yeah. So, and then we're going to go through the release prayer and meditation. This might be something that I record separately in a special, but for right now, I'm going to, let's see here, ask maybe that you turn some music on. Close your eyes a little bit, and here's what we're going to go through. Now, by the way, when I do this practice and you're doing a guided visualization for release, you can turn on some music. And here's what I personally like to do when I'm letting go of old beliefs. I like to picture myself with like a helium balloon. And this might sound crazy, and that's okay. But I picture myself writing down those old fears or old beliefs on this helium balloon and carrying it. And I walk out to this field. I did this, by the way, in person. I did this exercise when I was letting go of my marriage, my bad marriage. Yeah, it was like a symbolic thing. So I went to the store. I bought a helium balloon. I wrote this person's name on it. I wrote all of the things associated with that marriage on there, like all of the old things holding me back. I went out to this field, and it had some flowers in it. And I held onto that balloon. And I just stood there until I was ready to let it go. And when I let it go, this is kind of what the process I went through. So I recognized that I was holding this belief. Whatever the belief is, you can insert it here. The belief that I am afraid to fail because I might not make somebody happy, or I won't be good enough, or they won't love me if I'm not perfect. I acknowledge that it served a purpose and was held to protect me. I know now that it is safe to fully release this belief. I am safe and fully supported. I release this belief so I can move forward into my higher purpose. I release the belief of, so that is the part where you'd picture yourself releasing this belief if you want to use the visualization and letting go of this helium balloon in your visualization with whatever limiting idea or belief that it was. And then I want you to picture that there are like flowers in this field. And you reach down, and instead you pick up these flowers. And each one of these flowers that you pick up is replaced with your new truth, whatever that new truth is. Maybe the new truth is simply that I am worthy because I've been called, or my dreams and desires, or my destiny. Or if she can do it, so can I. So that anytime you feel that you're like, oh, I don't know about this, you can visualize that flower, which is why I went with the flowers for this theme. It had a bigger purpose. That you can picture those flowers that you've picked up, those new beliefs, those new truths that you are embodying and stepping into. So I'm stepping into my highest potential. I am fully supported. I am open to receiving miracles, abundance, clarity. And I believe that as I step out in faith, my next steps will be shown. I am safe. I am supported. It is safe to be me. It is safe to release all that no longer serves me. It is safe to be me. It is okay to earn and receive. I am worthy. I am called. I am free. So that is the release prayer meditation. It works really well with some like an acoustic calming music. Yeah. So, and it should just feel like new. Like I hope that you come away from this exercise and you've gained clarity on what it is you can do right now. if you are looking for those next steps or the next trainings, I do invite you to hop on in. I do offer those workshops, which are listed on my site. And if you are looking for that an additional deep dive training, please, please do come join us inside of the Co-Creating Queens community. So I'm just going to show you where it's at. If you go to sarahmichaels.teachable.com, here are some of the courses. What I was talking about is the CCQ monthly VIP community. So that's right here. Yeah. So you get a weekly live training and Q&A session. It's a community, it's like community coaching. If you are looking for that next level one-on-one coaching, my mastermind will be opening up soon. That is the high level mastermind, and it is application only, invitation application only. So, but if you are looking, for a place to get started, that would absolutely be at the CCQ community. And then you will receive an invitation to our private Facebook group. So all of the lessons and stuff are listed inside of the CCQ. And in here is our discussion tab. This is not, it is not a free group. This is a focused group where we can discuss and connect and collaborate and all that fun stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if it was. Otherwise, I will see you in another training, and I look forward to connecting with you on my social media. See you.